producing your product or services, hence it is not eligible. Okay, like that, printing paper, printing, then printer, okay, and some washing material like soaps and detergents, all these things. The assessing authority during the course of assessment in 17 and 18, 19, they have disallowed all these things. The question is furtherance of business. That is subjective once again. That is why we have to argue, sir, without this material, I can't run my show. That is why all these items are relating to my business. That is why I am eligible to take the input tax credit. But proving this, it is once again subjective, depending upon the officer to officer. Some officers they are allowing, some officers are not allowing. But in future, depending upon the High Court or Supreme Court decision, maybe we will come into conclusion. But every registered persons are subject to such condition and restriction may be prescribed under manner specified in section 49, entitled to take the input tax credit charge on supply of goods or services or both to him which are used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business, and the said amount shall be credited to electronic credit ledger or such a person. Okay, the condition is, one is it has to come to the electronic credit ledger, that is called 2A or 2B now, and that item is relating to furtherance of business. Okay, that is why each and every element of expenses you have to prove this is relating to furtherance of business. That is why it is once again I am telling it is a subjective. That is why based on decided cases one by one in future you have to tell, sir, no, this is relating to furtherance of business. Just I have summarized small in PPT what is the basic condition for availing ITC. One is possession of invoice. Okay, you have to have a invoice, and receipt of goods or services, tax levied on supply actually paid to the government, claim of ITC by filing GSTR 3B. In addition to this, so many other conditions are there. Okay, but this is these four are all basic condition. One is you have to have an invoice, you are supposed to receive the goods or services, tax levied on supply actually paid to the government by the supplier. For each and every invoices, whatever tax he has levied, he has to discharge the tax liability by filing GSTR 3B. See, the initial stages, people used to file GSTR 1, but they have kept it pending GSTR 3B. Okay. The recipient of the goods, they are unable to trace out this, then they have taken the credit. Now, during the assessment for the year 17, 18, 18, 19 and 19, 20, people are facing lot of problems. Now 16.2, in 16.2, we are having a lot of issues. As of now, Alfred, I am not able to see anything. Good afternoon. Okay, any delay in webinar? Delay in webinar? Hello. Why lot of messages not started, not started? Oh, okay. Lot of. Oh, not a problem. Okay, not a problem. Okay. Dear members, see some of the members they have sent a message saying that there is a technical problem. If anybody is having a technical problem, please send me once again. But I have uh, I got a clarification from the TRD department. There is no technical problem. They are all seeing from members view this one only.
Sir, there can be
Anybody?
some technical problem for 2-3 minutes, for 10 minutes in the starting of the session. We request
Oh,
that you kindly brush through once and then again continue. All these
okay, okay,
participants have joined in. There are more than 300 participants now. Okay.
okay, okay, okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay. Not a
Participants,
problem.
if you have any issues, if you are not able to join, kindly you either mail us or you put it in the chat box. We will look into it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now, okay. Is that required mention member? Okay, not a problem. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
okay, okay. See, once again, maybe some of the members they are having a technical problem initially, but I will initial 3-4 sides. I will discuss once again at the end. If the people are having any question, they can send me a messages. I will reply it. As of now, there is no question actually. As of now, there is no question. If there is a question, I will. Sir, can you please repeat the section 61 as started now? Okay, not a problem. 16.1, I will repeat it. Now it is available. Okay, this is for attendance. Okay, Rahul Soni. Okay. I will go to the. Okay, now once again I will refresh it. Not a problem, sir. I think all the members are comfortable now. The TRD is telling initial 5-10 minutes there was a technical problem. Now there is no technical problem. Meanwhile, once in a while I will go through your messages. If you are having any technical problem, I will talk to TRD. That is not a problem. See, now somebody is asking 16.1. 16.1 relating to furtherance of business. Okay. The question is, if you want to take the input tax credit, there should be furtherance of business. Once again, I will repeat, furtherance of business is a subjective. It's all depending upon the situation. Okay. There is no hard and fast rule. Who is talking? Hello. Okay. Every registered person subject to such condition and restriction may be prescribed manner specified in that section 49 entitled to take the input tax credit charged on any supply of goods or services or both to whom which are used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of the business. Okay, say for example, I have given an example of printing and stationery, printer and building maintenance and washing material like soaps and detergents. All these things are relating to business. Okay, there is a furtherance of business. Without that, I can't run my show. Okay, because of that reason, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. But so many officers, they are disallowing all these things. What they are telling, by using this building maintenance or a printing stationery or a printer, you are not producing the goods. Not required actually. See, the each and every support activity is also eligible for input tax credit. Okay. No need to prove whatever you are using input, it is directly relating to manufacture. That is not required. All supporting activities that relates to business, there is a furtherance of business. Hence, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Okay, and some of the litigation point before this I have discussed, that I will discuss in at the end. Okay, now I will go to 16.2. Sir, 16.1 is okay. Okay, this is for attendance. Okay, now it is okay, sir. We had posed to issue the joining initially, not a problem. Okay, then, sir, not able to join beginning about the 10 minutes. Kindly, okay, definitely, sir, not a problem. I will repeat it, not a problem. As I have joined sharp 4 p.m. but got the okay 4:20 p.m. connection. That is okay. Your problem maybe. Then, okay, now. Okay, then some of the litigation point initially I have discussed around 8 to 10 points are there. At the end, within 5-10 minutes, once again I will discuss. Not a problem. Now I will go to 16.2, and this we have already discussed what is the basic condition of taking the input tax credit. Now I will go to 16.2. Now majority of the High Court decision or Supreme Court decision is relating to 16.2 only. What is 16.2? He has to have a position of the tax invoice or debit note issued by the supplier registered under this act. Such other tax paying document as may be prescribed. There is no problem. If you are having a tax invoice or a debit note or some other document, okay, issued by the supplier, you can take the credit. Normally, assessees are not facing problem regarding to 16.2A. Section 16.2AA. Details of debit note, invoice or debit note referred in clause A has been furnished by the supplier in the statement of outward supply. Such a details have communicated to the recipient such a invoice, debit note or manner specified under section 37. Here assessees are having lot of problem. Now almost all streamlined, but 17, 18, 18, 19 and for the year even 19, 20 also people are facing lot of problem. That is why if the assessees are having that type of problem for the year 17, 18 and 18, 19, the CPIC has come with a circular number 183. That I will explain in detail in later stage. The basic condition is your supplier has to upload the invoice that has to be appear in 2A. If you are able to get your credit in 2A, then you are eligible to take the input tax credit, otherwise not. Maybe as our members will ask, sir, during the year 17, 18 and 18, 19, it was not mandatory. That is why so many assessees, they have not uploaded the invoice. Then how I can take the credit? How I can prove the credit during the course of assessment? For that, I am having a answer. No doubt, sir. During the year 17, 18 and 18, 19, there was a problem. No doubt at all. The assessee, they have a supplier, they have uploaded GSTR1 with a wrong TIN number, GSTN number first. Another point is maybe they have uploaded B2C. Because of that, they have come with a circular. What is that circular? In circular 183, they have clearly mentioned if the supplier is having that type of problem, below 5 lakh, they can give a voluntary declaration saying that I have discharged the tax liability. Due to some clerical problem, I have not uploaded the invoices. Then you are eligible to take the input tax credit. If it is above 5 lakh, then automatically they have to get a certificate from either chartered accountant or a cost accountant. If they are able to get the certificate, then automatically they are able to prove their credit and assessing authority will allow it. Along with that, you have to give your ledger copy, invoice copy, as well as payment route to the supplier. You are supposed to discharge the tax liability to your supplier along with GST, basic amount and GST. You are supposed to give it to your supplier. Okay. Now I will go to next slide. Somebody has in between. I will discuss queries. Okay. Sanjam Kumar Banerjee. He has asked, sir, that means taking a loan and paying interest for buying a photocopy machine will be eligible for the conditions of furtherance of business. Sir, no doubt at all. Okay, for business purpose. Here, maybe I will explain two scenarios. Sanjeev Kumar Banerjee, you can interact with me, not a problem. I am explaining your query. See what you can, maybe your situation for business purpose, maybe you have purchased the photocopier through loan, then definitely photocopier, whatever you have paid, definitely you are eligible to take the input tax credit. It is a furtherance of business. Then taking loan and paying interest for buying a photocopy machine will be eligible for the condition of furtherance of business. Sir, here 2 points. For interest there is no GST. Okay, for that machine, if you pay the GST, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. But for getting that loan, maybe you will pay the processing charges. On that, if you pay GST, that is also eligible. That is one part. Second part is maybe you are doing a photocopy business. Then also you are eligible to take the input tax credit on photocopier, as well as if you pay any bank charges on that. If you discharge the GST, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Sir, if you are having any other query, you can send it. I will reply. Now I will go to next slide. See, 2A, there is a landmark. 2AA, there is a landmark decision. Action against the supplier is essential for non-reflection of the invoice before seeking a reversal from recipient. Calcutta High Court. The surprising thing is, if you observe all High Court and Supreme Court relating to 16(2)AA, it is in favor of the assessee. But the problem here is, lot of assessing authorities, even though it is in favor of the assessee, but they are not allowing the credit. Okay, allowing the credit if you are not produced certificate based on circular 183. What is the problem with that? We will produce the certificate based on 183. Maybe you will think there is a problem. So many suppliers now they are not available. Because of that reason, maybe it is very difficult to produce the certificate. Now that and all we will discuss. First, what is this case? Here, the Suncraft Energy Private Limited versus Assistant Commissioner. There is a 100 supplier or 50 suppliers. Then they have all not uploaded. Then they have assessing authority. They have finalized the order by creating some liability. Then he has gone to the High Court, Calcutta High Court. Then in Calcutta High Court, it is said that if the assessee is having a valid invoice, And if he discharge the payment to the supplier, then automatically you are supposed to allow the input tax credit, whether it is available in GSTR 2A or not. Next question is, okay, it is not available in GSTR 2A. Then assessing authority said in court, sir, okay, if the supplier has discharged the tax liability, absolutely no problem. Based on circular 183, we are supposed to allow. But here supplier, they have not discharged the tax liability, what to do? Then the High Court clearly said whether the supplier has discharged the tax liability or not, it is not a botheration of the recipient. Okay, first initially you have to take a action against all the supplier. If you are unable to collect the GST from all the supplier, then you can create the liability just by putting the reason they have not uploaded invoices in 2B. You should not create the liability. It is a landmark decision. But even then, assessing authority will not rely on this High Court decision. What they are asking, whether supplier has discharged the tax liability or not, whether you are able to get the certificate based on circular 183 or not, all these things, because it is a beginning stage. Maybe in future lot of cases will accumulate in the Supreme Court, and finally Supreme Court will give a final decision. Based on that future we will take some action. Up to that, there is a here and there, all little bit problem will be there. Up to that, we have to manage with circular number 183. Now, sir, kindly update the CP hours again. Okay, this is relating to this one. Then, okay, not a problem. There is no other question. Now I will go to the next slide. See, action. See, this is a continue. Action against the supplier is essential non-reflection of the invoices before seeking the reversal from recipient. The court further noted that action against the supplier would be essential before seeking a reversal from recipient. Therefore, it has held that revenue's action was deemed to be arbitrary and impugned order was liable to be set aside. Demand raised by the appellant was not sustainable. Okay, here Calcutta High Court clearly said, okay, each and every supplier, what action you have taken, whether you can collect the money from them or not, on these things, they have to explain to the High Court. Simply, you can't tell supplier has not uploaded. That is why we want to create a liability to the recipient. You should not tell like that. Okay, that is the decision. Next, 16(2)(b), we will discuss a little bit. Then we will go to the next decision. 16(2)(b) has received the goods or services or both. It is once again subjective. For goods, we can give a lot of proofs. Okay, I can prove it whether goods are received or not. There is a physical movement. What you can do, you can produce the e-way bill. First thing. Second one is LR receipt you can reproduce. Third one, what you can do, you can produce GRN of the company. All these things are possible in case of goods. Services, whether company has received the services or not, it is very difficult to trace out. Once again, it is a subjective, it is a matter of litigation. Okay, for that there is a lot of other landmark we have to see. What type of contract they are having, what is the outcome, all these things we have to see. Okay, this is another important condition. For while taking the input tax credit, you have to prove it. I have received the goods, I have received the services. Where the services are provided by the supplier to any person, direction and on account of such a registered person. In case if the goods are delivered to the third party by the direction of somebody, then that condition will not apply. Okay, even transfer of document is more than sufficient. In case of sale in transit, normally goods will not come to our premises. What will happen? They will give a direction. They will send an invoice to us, and based on our instruction, they will deliver the goods somewhere else. Final consumer. That is also allowed. Absolutely no problem. In that case also input is allowed. Finally, in turn, you will raise the another invoice to your customer. The details of input tax credit is said supply communicated to such a vendor, not rejected. 16(2)(c) subject to provisions of section 41, the tax charged in respect of such supply has been actually paid to the government either in cash or through utilization of input tax admissible in respect of said supply. Okay. Next condition. Documentary requirement. What are the documents are? This is a rule 36 actually. What are the documentary requirement for taking the input tax credit? Okay. First one is invoice. That is no doubt everybody knows. Second one is an invoice in accordance with the provisions of clause 3F subject to the payment of tax. Okay. Even though you are having an invoice, payment of tax is mandatory. Debit note issued by the supplier according to section 34 bill of entry in case of import. Then in case of ISD input service distributor, invoice or a credit note by the input service distributor. Okay. What are the documentary things are required? Invoice, payment of tax, debit note, bill of entry, and invoice or credit note from the ISD. Documentary requirement and condition from claiming the input tax credit. Okay, that is continued. Input tax credit availed by the registered person only if the applicable particular specified in chapter 6 tax invoice, credit note and debit notes are contained in same document. No input tax shall be availed. Registered person in any tax has been paid in person. Order of the demand has been confirmed on account of fraud or illness. See, the thing is, sometime what will happen? By way of fraud or misstatement or suppression of tax, if you paid any tax, that is not eligible for input tax credit. Then GSTR1 is mandatory. Now, the details of input tax credit debit note has communicated to registered person in form GSTR2B. That is also mandatory. Now it is amended. It is if the credit is available in 2B, then only you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Otherwise, you are not eligible. Dear members, some of the members they are telling technical issue is everybody is facing technical issue or only few of. I think please reply, sir. Some member can reply. Some of the member they are telling there is a technical problem. I think is there any problem or not?
Sir, it is now okay, sir. Not technical
Okay.
problem is not there, sir.
Not there. No, then it's okay. Not
Yes, sir. It is okay now.
Okay, not at all. Reversal of input tax credit in the case of non-payment to consideration. See, the thing is, there is a condition. If you purchase goods or services from any supplier, within 6 months, you are supposed to discharge that payment to the supplier. Otherwise, you are not eligible to take the or eligible to continue with that input tax credit. Because see, at the time of purchase, normally you used to take the input tax credit. What will happen? If you did not discharge the liability to the supplier within 6 months, you are supposed to reverse it. In normal course, what will happen? Nobody will reverse it. Nobody will keep a track whether you are having a bill more than 6 months or less than 6 months. What will happen at the time of assessment? Assessing authority will ask the detailed schedule of payment against your purchase invoices. And by doing that, he is able to trace out whether the payment you are discharged within 6 months or not. Then he will calculate the interest liability from that date to payment date. According to me, if you are not discharged within 6 months, then automatically you have to reverse the input tax credit on that date. And whenever you are making the payment, you are once again you can retake the credit. For retaking the credit, the time limit is not applicable. Even 16(4) also not applicable. Okay, after 5 years also you can retake the credit. That is possible. Okay, whenever you make the payment, then you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Sometime maybe you will ignore this. Okay, at that time what you can do, after whenever you are calculating the liability from 6 months to whenever you are making the payment, on that you are supposed to calculate the interest and you can discharge it at the time of, maybe at the time of filing the GST 9 and 9C, you can discharge all this interest and all. That is better actually. Sometimes if you are not discharged, if the assessing authority asks this type of details, you are supposed to discharge the interest from 6 months. But some of the assessing authority, what they are asking, from the beginning up to payment, they are asking the interest. That is not correct actually. Okay, from 6 months to whenever you are making the payment, up to that date, you are supposed to make the interest. But sometimes assessing authority is advising to reverse the input tax. That is not correct actually, because whenever you have made the payment, automatically you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Because of that reason, only if he is asking interest on that, that is okay, well and good, you have to discharge it. Then reversal of input tax credit, non-payment of continued. See, thus, the time limit specified in subsection 4 of the 16 shall not apply a claim revealing the of input tax credit. That is why maybe after 6 months you will reverse the input tax credit. Whenever you are making the payment, you can re-avail the input tax credit. That is possible. 16(4), that time limit is not applicable to this. Then 16(2)(b)(8) details of input supply communicated such register has not been restricted. 16(2)(c) subject to provision tax charged in respect of such supply has been actually paid to the government either through cash through utilization of input admissible in respect of said supply. 16(2) has furnished the return under section 39. This is all condition under section 2C, 2A, 2B, 2D. Okay, all 4 condition. One is invoice, then uploading. Third one is supply actually paid to the government. He has to discharge the tax liability. Fourth one is he has to furnish the return under section 39. All these things condition they have to fulfill it. Now Delhi High Court decision, buyers GST ITC denial case, Bharati Telemedia versus Union India. In Delhi High Court, Kolkata has ruled that buyers are other to the conditions specified in the section 2, central goods tax and state and service tax entitled to claim input tax credit are not responsible for the discrepancy in the goods and service tax 2A and 2B due to seller's default. Consequently, appeal is granted and the orders made in writ petition and the order issued to the assistant state tax are overturned and the court directs that action should be first be taken against the seller before action can be commenced against the appellant. This is another decision. GST ITC denial case, Bharati Telia India, Union India versus this one, Delhi High Court. Here also, Just because of seller problem, supplier problem, you should not restrict the input tax credit. According to my opinion, in 16.2, almost all 90% of the cases in favor of assessing, but still people are placing lot of problem. There is a lot of litigation in 16.2. I don't know when it will going to settle, but in the 16.2 also, according to my opinion, if the supplier has not discharged the tax liability, then practically, if you know that, better to discharge the tax liability, or otherwise better to keep it live and you have to wait for some more decision. Because see, nowadays I am handling all the whatever appeals in commissioner appeal or a joint commissioner appeal in case of state authority, they are not allowing this input tax credit. If you produce the certificate based on circular 183, they will allow it, otherwise they will not allow it. Based on this high court decision, they are not allowing the input tax credit. That is why if you are able to produce the certificate, then your position is good, otherwise your position is bad. Maybe in future, depending upon the situation, you will get the benefit. Better to keep it live. How to keep it live? You have to file a appeal. If it is pending before the commissioner appeal or a joint commissioner appeal in case of state authorities, depending upon the situation in future, if the Supreme Court tells no problem, even if they have not uploaded, even if they have not paid, absolutely no problem. Recipient is not responsible for all these issues, then you are able to get that input tax credit. That is why in case of 16.2, if you are having any issues, better to file a appeal and keep it alive. But because if you are bothered about interest, better to discharge the tax liability under protest and better to file a appeal. Okay. Now, sir, video, it is the video player stop the working due to not working. No, sir. Okay, no issue now. Okay, very good. If any problem, technical issue, all are good, not a problem. Okay, things are not now. Earlier we are not. Okay, very good, very good. And live question and answer slider are not working, sir. But video is viewable properly without buffering. Live question and answer slides are not working, sir. Sir, I am replying. What do you mean by failure? If you are agreed to pay the within 180 days, then only there is a failure, else not. This the stand taken by many. Sir, maybe they have, sir, Yogi, sir. What do you mean by failure? If you are agreed to pay within 180 days, then there is a failure also. See, but even then, say for example, based on your agreement, I am replying to Yogesh. Based on your agreement, you are making the payment to your supply maybe after 8 months or after 10 months. Okay. But based on whatever condition in act, if you have not paid the amount within 180 days, then automatically department will ask the interest. Even though your terms and condition is 8 months or 10 months, if you are not discharged the supplier payment within 6 months, you are supposed to reverse your input tax credit. Okay, that we circular. Okay, that and all I will 183 and one even further 22, 23. Okay, not a problem. That we will discuss. Okay, no ITC allowed if the supplier didn't pay the GST to the government, even tax was collected from the Patna High Court. See, this is little bit different case. Earlier, the cases relating to Kolkata High Court and Delhi High Court, it is in favor of the assessee. Even if assessee, even if supplier not discharge the tax liability, that is not a botheration of the recipient Okay, no need to discharge the tax liability. That is what Kolkata High Court and Delhi High Court said. Here, it is a little bit different case. If the supplier not discharge the tax liability, okay, GST didn't pay the government even if the tax collected from the buyer. Patna High Court, no ITC is allowed if the supplier didn't pay to the government. See, this is a little bit different case. Supplier has not discharged the tax liability, he has not uploaded also. Then automatically, see, the initial years, there was no mechanism to trace out whether he has discharged the tax liability or not. Okay. Normally in 2A, if we upload, automatically it will appear in GSTR 2A. If you file only GSTR 1, it will come to the 2A, but if he is not filed GSTR through 3B, then automatically he is not eligible to take the input tax credit. But as a recipient, I can't trace out this. Then automatically, it is very difficult to trace out whether he had discharged the tax liability or not. But here, Patna High Court has given a decision saying that if your supplier has not discharged the tax liability, automatically you are not eligible to take the input tax credit. Okay, this is a contradictory view from Delhi High Court and Kolkata High Court. But even then, if you are having that type of issues, please file a appeal and keep it live. See, in Karnataka, in state authorities, almost all around 150 cases relating to 16.2 only. Another 100 cases relating to 16.4 that we will discuss little bit later. 16.3, where the registered person has claimed the depreciation on the tax component of the cost of capital goods and plant and machinery under the provisions of input tax, the input tax credit on the said tax component shall not be allowed. See, normally the accounting principle, if you purchase a 100 rupees capital goods and 18 rupees is a GST. Normally we will capitalize 100 rupees and 18 rupees will go to the GST account. Then automatically you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Instead of that, if you take 118 to the capital goods or a plant and machinery, you are not eligible to take the input tax credit. Okay, because you have capitalized the 118 rupees. For this, our accounting standard itself, while capitalizing the goods, if it is eligible, input tax is eligible, you are capitalizing only 100 rupees, not 118. But Act says like that, normally nobody will take the input tax relating to capital goods if it is eligible to the capital account, only to the extent of basic amount they will take to capital goods. 16.4, there is a lot of litigation. A registered person shall not be entitled to take the input tax credit in respect of any invoice or a debit note for supply of goods or services, both after the following end of the financial year to which invoice debit note pertain to furnishing to the relevant annual return, whichever is earlier. Say, for example, for the year 22-23, 22 to November 23 is the last date for uploading your GSTR1. Say, for example, if you upload each and every month GSTR1, this problem will not arise. Some of the supplier, maybe they have not uploaded for whole year 22-23. Even then, if we upload before 30th of next month, next year, then automatically, if cups and seeds in your 2B, then you are eligible to take the input tax credit. That is one part. And if you have not filed the return, your return before due date, that is next November, next year November, then you are not eligible to take the whole input tax credit. Now, scenario is like this. Say, for example, you are a supplier. If you have not uploaded your invoice relating to somebody, up to next November, he is also not eligible to take the input tax credit. Then your return, you have not filed for the whole year, even for next up to next November, if you have not filed the return, your whole input, they will disallow it, they will not allow it. Okay, provided that the registered person shall be entitled to input tax after due date of furnishing section month of September till the, this is relating to, especially relating to 17-18. Absolutely no problem. 17-18, they have extended up to March 2019 because of that reason for the year 17-18. Okay. For the year 17-18, even if you file the return up to March 2019, absolutely no problem. Then Madras High Court relief to the assessee for a genuine hardship leading to belated GST 3B causing return input tax credit claims. See, under 16(4), only Madras High Court gave one decision, that too hardship relating to 3B. Say, for example, if you are having a assessee, whole year they have not filed the return, even next up to 30th November, he has not filed the return. Then automatically whole of your input tax credit, they will reject it. You can't take the input tax credit. But here in this situation, Madras High Court said, due to some practical or technical problem, somebody has unable to file the 3B. Just they have given a direction to the officer. No, there was a hardship. They are unable to file the GSTR 3B. Please allow it. That is what they have gave this decision. Except this decision, okay, no favorable decision under section 16(4). Even then, better to file an appeal and keep it live in future in larger bench. Even Supreme Court said 16(4), assessee is not eligible to take the input tax credit if he files the return late. Okay, but in long run, maybe division bench or whatever higher bench will decide, because of natural justice, maybe we are eligible to take the input tax credit. All your cases under protect, better to discharge the tax liability and you have to keep it live. Better to file the appeal. Okay. Then Andhra Pradesh High Court upheld the time limit for evaluating item prescribed under section. This is Tirumala Konda Plywood Assistant Commission. In the present situation, the validity of section 16(4), 2000, which is important time limit for claiming the input tax credit, was challenged. It was submitted by the petitioner that once the returns are accepted with a late fee, then ITC can't be denied. It was further contended that section violated Article 14. Say, Andhra Pradesh High Court upheld the time limit of 16(4). See the question, they have questioned the Article 14. Say, for example, if I discharge the tax liability, automatically ITC is my right. This 16(4), by putting the condition to take the input tax credit, it is not right. Okay, it is whatever your Article 14, rights of the legal rights of the assessee is curtailed or violated. Okay, but Andhra Pradesh High Court clearly said no. If you do like that, there is no time limit. Maybe somebody will ask after 5 years or after 10 years also. That is why whatever condition they have put, condition or time limit they have put in 16(4) is 100% correct. Assessee is not having any right to claim input tax credit if he filed the return after time limit, after November. Earlier it was September. Okay, now Honorable High Court noted that ITC is mere a concession or rebate. If you satisfy the terms and condition relating to that, then only you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Otherwise, not possible. They said clearly, okay, whatever terms and condition, that is correct. But Honorable Supreme Court India, Mrutyunjay Kumar Union India, where the Honorable Supreme Court dated January 3, 2000, this is the latest case, till today it is not finalized. Now we will wait for the decision. Okay, Govinda Construction and Union India and others, wherein Honorable Patna applied the constitutional validity of 16(4). The Bihar Goods and Service Tax, Section 16(4) CGST Act states that input tax could be denied in case where any invoice or debit note issued after the due date of furnishing the return. This issue is not yet settled. The Honorable High Court of Govinda Construction Union India held that Central Goods and Service Tax 2017 is valid or not. Okay, Constitution India is not consistent with the and derogation of any other fundamental guaranteed under the Constitution of India. Okay, this Honorable Supreme Court SLP filed in the case of Shanti Motors, February 9th. This is not yet settled actually. This is actually settled actually. Honorable Patna High Court, it is settled. It is against. It is against to the assessee actually under 16(4). But the Honorable Supreme Court, Shanti Motors versus Union of India. This is just hearing notice on February 19th. Okay, till today I don't know what has happened. I don't know. Okay, but this is the latest case. We will wait for the this decision. Okay, if anything favorable comes to the assessee, then it is really beneficial to assessee. Otherwise, you have to wait some more time. Just I will interact with the members for some time. Then once again, I will go to the slides. Sir, now another 5-10 minutes. Already 17:12. I am having 18 minutes. Okay. Now 5:30. I am supposed to close it. Another 5 minutes. I will go through the question. Then once again I will go to the slides. Okay. So okay. ITC is not availed. So accumulation can be for how many days? Request to clarify, sir. Sir, once you avail the ITC, there is no time limit. They CMA Devendra, once you avail the ITC, there is no time limit. Okay, any number of years or any number of days you can carry forward your input tax credit and you can enjoy. Sir, I shall use circular 183 even for 20. No, sir, 22-23 you cannot use it. Only circular number 183 you can use for 17-18, 18-19, 19-20 you can use circular number 193. Okay. Then Yogesh, I am unable to unmute. Thanks for replying. Okay, not a problem. Then if a seller is raised the invoice and shown GST paid tax, however, the buyer has not booked the purchases and claimed ITC in 2008. Is there any buyer can claim the ITC now? Sir, for ITC for the year 2020, now you can't claim it. That is highly impossible. Okay, time limit is over. Sir, can you share the PPT? TRD will upload the PPT. I will send it to them. Absolutely no problem. Sanjeev Kumar Banerjee. Sir, can you please repeat the 16(4) first part, please? That I will repeat, sir. Not a problem. Then Sridharan. Okay, please share the PPT, sir. TRD will do it. Dear sir, where you pen required case laws in and judgment? I mean, any website is there. Sir, see. If you Google it, you will get a lot of case laws. That is one part. Otherwise, you have to subscribe to TMI, Tax Management India. All these people will keep on sending the case laws to you. For professional, better to subscribe some some good TMI or somebody. Then so that they will keep on sending the case laws. One part. Second part is you can search any case law in that software. That is possible. Now, once again, I will go to PPT. Slides. Because time is too short, I will go quick because this SLP Okay, still it is not finalized. Shanti
Sir,
Motors
sorry, sir.
versus what
Sorry,
happened?
sir.
What
Sir, you
happened?
can take another 15 minutes.
Okay, I
Uh,
can.
5:45.
Okay, I will do it.
Okay.
Really
Okay, sir.
very good. Thank you very much,
Okay.
madam. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
I will go up to 5:45, dear members. Okay. Now, Honorable Supreme Court, in case of Shanti Motors versus Union of India, this is the latest case, and still final hearing is not yet over. We will wait for the decision. If anything favorable to assessing, we will use it, or otherwise we have to wait for we have to wait some more time. Now, next case relating to old tax regime. Now, 16.4. Some members are asking, sir, please discuss 16.4. Two parts in 16.4. One part is, see, you are having a time limit before next year November. You are supposed to upload. If you are not uploaded, then automatically your recipient will not eligible to take the input tax credit. That is one part. Second part is, that is relating to month to month. Second part is, if the assessee is not filed whole year returns and up to 30th November of next year, whole year or a particular month, whatever it may be, if he is not filed for whole year input tax credit is not allowed. If he is not filed for a particular month, that particular month input tax credit is not allowed. Okay, that is why there is an impact on supplier as well as recipient in case of 16.4. I think member is able to get it. See the case relating to old tax regime. Why I am quoting all these cases relating to old tax regime? This is very, very important. Till today, in 16.4, we are unable to get the good decision or in favor of assessee. All decisions are good only, but question is, there is a natural justice, article 14, all these things normally people are discussing. Input is my right, how they are able to deny it, all these things people are questioning. If you go to the old tax regime like central excise and service tax, almost all several decision is in favor of assessee, surprisingly. Okay, wherein Commissioner of Central Excise versus Home Ashok Leyland Limited, Apex Court held that manufacturer to claim a moderate credit would not be abated procedure rule and therefore would not affect the substantive rights of the manufacturer of the specified final product to claim a moderate credit. Say it means at any time, if you discharge the tax liability, at any time you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Calcutta High Court, Howrah Taxpayers Association with the Government of West Bengal, stating that payment of late fees will regularize your input tax credit. Say, for example, after 3 years with penalty, I will pay the tax and I will upload GST R1, 3B, everything. Then automatically you are eligible to take the input tax credit because once you discharge the penalty, automatically you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Okay, that is relating to old tax regime once again, but time being, there is no other alternative. Whenever you are fighting 16.4, better to quote all this decision. Okay, wherein Honorable Court Delhi held that Section 140 of the CGST Act empowers the legislator to prescribe the manner of transitioning the SENVAT credit, does not provide any stipulated timeline for available such credit. Okay, writ petition has been filed to the challenge the validity of Section 4 CGST Act in case of Meta Tiles Limited of Union India. The petition has filed before the Bombay High Court challenging the constitutional validity 16.4. Okay. Now, similarly, writ petition has filed before the Honorable Chhattisgarh. All these things are pending cases. Okay. Now, similarly, petition has filed by the court Chhattisgarh and another case is filed in Bombay High Court. All these things are pending. Maybe in future they will settle it. Time limit to take the in respect of RCM and secondment. Those who are working in a MNCs, they know very well what is secondment, why it is. I have linked with the RCM. That is more important. The just I will explain within 2 minutes what is secondment of employee. Then why I have quoted RCM in relation to secondment of employees. Those who are working in MNC, they know very well. The maybe Toyota Kirloskar or Toyota Industry or some Japanese company. They are all what they are doing. From parent company, they will depute some of the employees to the Indian companies. Then they are paying salary here. They are getting some salary in abroad also. Recently, there is a Supreme Court decision saying that, okay, secondment, if you are having a secondment employee, if they are paying salary abroad, automatically the foreign company, foreign entity is giving a service to Indian entity. They are supposed to discharge the tax liability under RCM. They have given a decision. It is a latest decision under Service Tax Act. Okay, the old regime. Because of that decision, all GST authorities, they have issued the notice to the all these MNCs saying that wherever they are having a secondment arrangement, they have advised to discharge the RCM. Then once they discharge the RCM, automatically they are eligible to take the input tax credit. And some of the company, the secondment of employees, whether it is taxable or not, that is a big question. Maybe in Supreme Court somewhere it will settle it. Time being, okay, Karnataka High Court has given a stay to Toyota Kirloskar Motor Private Limited or some other companies also. But time being, it is a litigation. What company people thought, why unnecessary I need to take a risk, I will discharge the tax liability and I will take the credit. So many companies, they have discharged the tax liability and they have taken the credit under RCM. Now assessing authority, they have questioned the RCM because they have discharged the tax liability from 1782 as of now. All these credits are time bar credit, hence you are not eligible to take the credit. For that also they have issued the notice. But here two things are there. One is because of recent Supreme Court decision, all these companies are discharged the tax liability. There was a settled law. This secondment of employees not taxable, but earlier there was a lot of High Court decision and Supreme Court decision. But due to latest court decision, we have discharged the tax liability. Because of that reason, I will take the input tax credit. That is one part. Second part is for RCM, there is no time limit. Whenever you discharge the tax liability based on self-invoice and that challenge, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Okay, whether it is correct or not, that in future we will see. But okay, for this 16.4 also not applicable. Then input tax credit to building maintenance and repairs. Okay, maybe secondment employee, if the members want, I will discuss. Please send me a query. I will discuss, not a problem. First, I will complete the slide. Then whatever available time, we will discuss all the issues. Then input tax relating to building maintenance. Here, GST paid on works contract carrying out a repairs of factory shall be available for ITC. If you attend a assessment, especially building maintenance, repairs and repairs to the building, assessing authorities, they are disallowing. That is not correct. Okay, there is a High Court decision. High Court decision, not a High Court decision. AAR, okay, Advanced Ruling Authority clearly said, okay, if you paid a input tax or a GST on works contract, if it is relating to repairs and maintenance, input tax credit is allowed. Then input tax credit on structural foundation for fixing machinery. That is another important point. There was a lot of earlier Supreme Court decision in central excise. Okay, in case of structural foundation, normally whenever you are installing big machinery, what you are doing, you have to make a big foundation. Maybe it is a civil foundation. For civil foundation, maybe you are using a steel or cement. On that, there is a lot of input tax credit. Whether you are eligible to take the input tax credit or not, it is a big question. Okay. For this, advance ruling authority clearly told input tax credit of GST paid on inward supply of fixing and plant and machinery, earth foundation or structural support which is used for making outward taxable supply is allowed. It means, for example, if you are installing a machinery, plant and machinery, it is a advance ruling authority. In earlier law, Supreme Court decision is there, Surapur industry decision is that is allowed actually. Even advance ruling authority said same thing. The thing is, while installing machinery, you need a lot of foundation work. That input is allowed. See, sometime maybe housing authority will question it, but no need to bother. That is allowed. Input tax credit on structural foundation for fixing machinery under central excise. Earlier tax regime. Under earlier tax regime, there is a case Sirpur Paper Mills versus Apex Court. It is clearly in this High Court clearly said if you spend any input tax, okay, or Senvat credit, if you are having Senvat credit relating to foundation, it is allowed. Then section 50. Section 50, I think our members know very well. Earlier, there is a litigation. There was a litigation. If you take the input tax credit, subsequently, if you realize this is not eligible, then if you reverse it, the assessing authority used to ask interest. Due to that reason, they have amended section 50. Now, if you take the input tax credit, if you are not utilized, subsequently, if you reverse it, there is no question of interest. That is why if you are having a carry forward credit, if you are having a additional liability, then there is no question of interest. This is last slide. Okay. The clarification deal with the input tax credit from year compared to the 2 years 1718 and 1819. Okay, what is circular 183? Certificate from supplier if it is below 5 lakh. Your input tax for each and every supplier if it is below 5 lakh, you are eligible to take the certificate based on that. Okay, your input assessing authority will allow. If the 5 lakhs, above 5 lakhs, either from chartered accountant or cost and management accountant or a cost accountant, okay, our member, okay, can give you certificate saying that if the assessee has discharged the tax liability and due to some clerical mistake, maybe he is not uploaded and he has discharged the tax liability. If you give certificate like that, definitely by using that certificate, assessee can claim the input tax credit. And 16 port not eligible. For example, even though assessee has discharged the tax liability after due date, then automatically he can't use the circular number 183. And while producing all these things, you have to produce invoice copy and payment proof to the assessing authority. By doing this, by submitting all these things, even though if your input tax credit not available in 2A, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. That is possible. Now my all slides are over. Okay. Now what I will do, because initially there was a technical problem, that is what people are told. Now one by one we will discuss some of the important litigation point, and will then I will go to the question and answer. This is the litigation point. Now I will interact with the people. I am having another 15 minutes, not a problem. And there is some of the issues relating to litigation that we will discuss one by one. And meanwhile, if somebody asks the question, I will reply it. Okay. Then I will close it. See, I am having sufficient time of 14 minutes. Member, please ask the question. If you are having any question, practical question, absolutely no problem. Whatever possible, I will clarify. Otherwise, I will go to the litigation point, because initially there was a technical problem for 10 to 5 to 10 minutes. That is what member said. Okay. Now, one by one, I will discuss. In between, if I receive any now, one by one, a question I will reply. Please share the PPT, sir. They will do it. Okay, no problem. There is a lot of question we will discuss. Really good. Okay. Now, dear sir, we can. Okay, not a problem. What is the time limit for claiming ITC? Sir, time limit for claiming ITC is 30th November of succeeding year. Before that, you are supposed to take the input tax credit. Okay, earlier it was September. Yes, RS Rajan sir, time limit for claiming the ITC is next year November. Okay, for the year 22-23, 22-23, November 23 is the due date. Okay, up to that, you can claim the ITC. Whether ITC can be taken BOE payment or it has to be reflected in GSTR 2A. Sir, as of now, for bill of entry, okay, it is not mandatory to appear in 2A. But even then, customs authorities nowadays, they are uploading. For bill of entry, even if it is not uploaded in 2A, you are eligible to take the input tax credit, Sagar sir. Okay, then there is a insights where the department has reversed the ITC since the suppliers are not paid GST. Please explain any recourse available to receiver of goods and services. There is a incidence where the department, sir, absolutely no problem. Even if they disallow the input tax credit, assessing authority, you are having a right to go to the appeal. Please file the appeal. It's all depending upon the future development. But nowadays, if you are able to get the certificate based on circular number 183, you will get the input tax credit, assessing authority allow it. This is a good opportunity to our practicing members. Okay. Whenever assessee having this type of problem, you can get that assignment, you can certify the input tax credit, and based on that, they will eligible to take the credit. If the seller raised the invoice shown GST paid tax, however, buyer has not booked it, purchase claimed ITC to the ITC now, no, not possible. Sir, earlier I have imported the goods under EPCB without payment of custom duty and IGST. Later, we did not fulfill the export obligations, hence we paid the custom duty along with GST under TR6 challan. Have the IGST ITC, but department may dispute in future since IGST will not be reflected into A. No, sir, Nutan Prasad, absolutely no problem. Okay. whenever you are discharge the tax to 3 or 6 challan, then absolutely no problem. Even though it is not reflecting in 2A, you are eligible to take the input tax credit. Absolutely no problem. Can we take ITC on repair and maintenance of the vehicle? Sir, that is why repairs and maintenance of the vehicle relating to car or if the vehicle is below 13 members capacity, definitely you are not eligible. Otherwise, if the vehicle maintenance is relating to transportation vehicle, definitely you are eligible to take the credit. Vinod Bhatt. Sanjeev Kumar Banerjee. Sir, if I claim the investment allowance in income tax, then should ITC be allowed? Sir, investment allowance in income tax. I am not getting the question, sir. If you explain properly, maybe you have explained properly. What is input relating to that? Just explain to me so that I will reply it, sir. This, sir, FIR structural foundation, ITC to be allowed if the investment allowance taken. This structural foundation relating to machinery is allowed, sir, not a problem. Then, sir, this course on okay. Then what is the timeline for claiming ITC? Once again, Rajan sir, I have repeated. Thank you, sir. Okay, not a problem. Can I claim 1920 any time exemption for a COVID related? No, sir. Now you can't do it. Okay, 1920 as RS Rajan sir. By putting the COVID reason, now you can't claim the input tax credit. That is not possible. Sir, please reply question. Okay, sir. Then CMA Himanshu Mittal, authority has suspended supplier GST number in December 2023. In my 2B and 2A credit is showing, but still authority has issued the SCN to client reversal of ICT on account of cancelled dealer. Sir, they can't do like that. If they have Himanshu Mittal sir, see if they have discharged the tax liability for that particular period, even though now they have not in line, absolutely no problem. You are eligible to take the input. You are continuing with your credit. Absolutely no problem. If you due to clerical mistake in December 2023 on bill dated 12/12 to the wrongly typed 12/1/2023, how the date can be rectified? If the sir Vinod Bhatt sir, whether it is in GSTR1 or GSTR this one, GSTR1 always you can amend it. Sir, if the due to clerical mistake in December 2000 on bill date 12/12 was wrongly typed 12/1/2000, how that? Absolutely no problem, sir. GSTR1 you can amend it. That is possible. Recently, High Court is allowed in favor of the assessee. If the assessee CGST, SGST instead of HGST, department people are not considering Kerala High Court decision. Okay, it is not a Supreme Court decision. Please share your views. Nutan Prasad, the thing is, you know very well, especially Karnataka people, they will take only Karnataka High Court decision as a base. If you refer Kerala High Court or a Tamil Nadu High Court, Chennai High Court or Delhi High Court, normally they will not allow it. That is why if the Supreme Court come with this type of decision, they will definitely allow it. This is a anyhow, there is no revenue loss, everybody knows. Even then, in Karnataka, I am also having a 2 to 3 cases. It is pending before the this one Joint Commissioner appeal. Definitely, we have to wait for some time, but we have to keep it live. That is more important. Uh, then Nutan Prasad, I have clarified your query. Can I refer any case laws for this? Yes, Himanshu Mittal, for authority is not allowed. No. Now, what is the current status of some employee related payments where the GST is attracted, like notice pay, etc.? Sir, notice pay nowadays no need to pay. Earlier it was there was a issue. Now it is a settled issue. No need to pay. What is the time limit of the reject output invoice? Okay, Sandeep, but Himanshu Goyal case laws for this authority is not allowing. Okay, what is the time limit for reversal of GST on output invoice? May invoice to May customer raising C and credit note. What is the timeline reversal of GST on output invoice? Sir, for credit note up to 30th November of next year, you can raise the credit note. That is possible, sir. Parag Shah, sir. Then Ranganathan, sir. Membership number 16209. What is the current status of some employee related payment where the GST? That already I have replied. Ninth presentation, Kumara Mishra. Okay, ITC is eligible for furnished construction, but ITC not available for HO building. Definitely HO building, ITC is not allowed, sir. Is ITC purchase of sewage treatment plant is available or not? If it is installed in a company as a part of the green initiative and company are not in a business of sewage treatment plant, absolutely no problem, sir. According to my opinion, it is a plant and machinery. Sir, Shandil Lal, Shanti Lal, sir. If the ITC relating to sewage treatment plant, okay, it is a part and parcel of the machinery relating to company only, definitely no doubt at all. It is allowed, but maybe department people will litigate. No problem, we can fight it. What about the construction of plant for an automobile industry? Sir, construction of a plant, if it is relating to machinery, definitely allowed. If it is a building, not allowed. Okay. Then the perm GST cancelled by the department. Okay, this department, if the perm is GST number and file the GST returns claiming a ITC after 2 years. Sir, after 30th November, if you file the return, there is no use. 16(4) is applicable. You are not eligible to take the input tax credit. Already 1744. Okay, it is a matter of 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you very much to Tax Research Department and all the members, those who have attended. Okay, in future maybe I will come with some other decisions also. Sir, please explain. Thank you very much once again. Whatever possible, I will reply it. Maybe within 1 or 2 minutes, they will close it. Sir, please explain the rule 43 against the sale of capital goods. Sir, see, in case of sale of capital goods, for each and every quarter, you are supposed to reverse 5% for input. Rest of the, say for example, if you are used for 2 quarters, 10% minus 90% of the tax, and tax on commercial value, whichever is higher, you are supposed to pay to the government. Rajesh Kumar Mishra sir, on capital goods, for each and every quarter, you are supposed to reverse 5%. Rest of the amount is your liability, and you have to calculate the liability on commercial value, whichever is higher is your tax liability. XY registered company, GST buying raw material which is directly delivered to PQR. Sir, this is a big case law. Now I will not discuss. Very good. Okay, very good presentation. Thank you. Thank you to one and all. Thank you, G. Ramesh. I could see the presentation from 4:20 p.m. Okay. No, not a problem. Can you please share your email ID? But my email ID is in my PPT. I will share it with the TRD. They will share it with you. Not a problem. vbut.co@gmail.com. vbut.co@gmail.com. My email ID. Thank you very much to each and everybody, all the members and all the practitioners. Once again, thank you very much to TRD and our institute and president. Thank you very much. Okay. Now,
Thank
any
you,
other?
sir. Thank
Okay.
you, all the participants. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. We
Thank
will
you.
close it, madam. Okay.
Okay.